Danny Boyle's Trainspotting was a groundbreaking film when it released in 1996. A break from the heritage films of the 80s and politically correct cinema, Trainspotting revitalized British filmmaking and ushered in an era of cool Britannia with its pounding Britpop soundtrack and an irresistible style. It went on to become the highest-grossing British film that year and one of the few fully British films to cross £10 million at the domestic box office. Given the film's tremendous financial success and pop culture influence, it's important not to overlook the fact that Trainspotting is fundamentally about people struggling with drug addiction. However, the film's originality doesn't stem from its taboo subject matter. It's the unique perspective from which Danny Boyle tells the story that was radical for the time. While social realism strives to depict hardship in an unembossed and objective manner, Boyle believes that this type of filmmaking objectifies and victimizes characters rather than attempt to understand their inner psyche and motivations. Trainspotting is the antidote to social realism in that it delves into the minds of the characters, their thoughts, emotions, and subjectivities. By allowing itself to be impartial, the film is able to explore both sides of drug addiction, the pain and the pleasure, so that the audience can begin to understand why the characters do what they do and why they shouldn't. A scene that exploits the power of subjectivity to full effect is that of the main character Renton fleeing from the cops after shoplifting. This scene plays once at the beginning of the film when Renton is still in the honeymoon phase with heroin, and again after the film's turning point, in which a junkie friend's baby dies from neglect, and the destructiveness of drug abuse truly sets in. Compare the tone of the original scene.
Choose life, choose a job, choose a career.
With the scene's reprise.
Misery upon misery. Heap it up in a spoon and dissolve it with a drop of bile, then squirt it into a stinking purulent vein and do it all over again.
A simple change in music completely transforms the context of the scene. At the beginning of the film, we see Renton as a lovable rogue on the run with his mates. The final freeze frame almost makes him out to be some kind of rock star. But after the turning point, the fierce intensity that we previously saw in Renton's face becomes tragic desperation, reinforced by the melancholic music. Renton is also at his most selfish and detached point in the film, a fact conveyed by the removal of Renton's friends from the frame. An additional shot of one of Renton's friends abandoning him is also inserted, further illustrating how self-centered he and his junkie friends have become. Towards the end of the scene, Renton recovers from nearly being run over by a car and grins ecstatically at the camera. The addition of a reverse shot in the scene's reprise, showing the driver's traumatized face, again recontextualizes our understanding of the event. Renton's smile is no longer playful, but cruel and insensitive. The negative effects of his drug use are spreading well beyond himself and into the innocent people around him. Danny Boyle's use of non-chronological storytelling, pop music, frantic editing, and narration flies in the face of social realism, but achieves something that would have been nearly impossible with a documentary-style objectivity. He presents two sides of a story that, in aggregate, represent the complexity and contradictions of the film's flawed main character. Someone who recognizes the destructive effects of his behavior, but is nonetheless addicted to the thrill of the chase. The film's subjectivity, in a way, makes it more visceral and relatable than a voyeuristic journey through someone's miserable life.